Hello again. What did I hear? Oh, I know. Caught a little bit of Donald Trump. He was there with Mike Pence. And he provided us with some interesting statistics as to the numbers of folks that were sort of tuned in to the Republican National Convention. It's actually mind-blowing. The numbers were mind-blowing. It was also interesting to hear what Donald had to say about this guy. You know, Teddy? If you heard Teddy, well, I'm not going to endorse someone that insults my wife or insults my father. Well, Teddy, you know, you did sign a pledge, which had nothing to do with your wife or your father. But you're sort of barking at the wrong tree. Donald explained what happened. He had nothing to do with either one of those. I actually recall having done a whole series of videos on both of those issues. When Donald's wife's photograph of her on the cover of GQ magazine was splashed throughout Utah when Donald was running against Teddy in Utah. You're talking Mormons. You're talking Mormons. And here you go, splashing the candidate's wife's picture all over Utah, and she's naked for the most part. What do you think the people of Utah are going to do? You think they're going to vote for her husband? Huh? And then you said you had nothing to do with it, but it was your super PAC that did it. As far as your father being on a cover of a photograph with Lee Harvey Oswald, again, that wasn't Donald. That was the National Enquirer, the same magazine that talked about you with your numerous escapades, the same magazine that uncovered John Edwards, what he was up to, the same magazine that exposed OJ, what he was up to. What amazes me is how you sort of skated away from that. But you can't skate away from being dishonest. You can't skate away from having signed a pledge, and your excuses for not honoring that pledge don't hold water. Donald had nothing to do with either one of those. Had nothing to do with insulting your wife or insulting your father. By the way, I'd like to know how your father was imprisoned by Castro. If I'm not mistaken, your father came to America in, I think, 1954 or 55. Castro didn't take power until 1959. So how could your father have been imprisoned by Castro? I actually spoke about that in previous videos as well. The reality is, Teddy, Donald called it when he called you lying, Teddy. You don't know how to tell the truth. You don't know how to tell the truth as to how you even got into America. I'd like to see your naturalization documents. You have to have them. You're born in Canada. Your mother got you a Canadian birth certificate. So you had to have been naturalized to get into the United States. Again, the United States doesn't recognize dual citizenship. Canada didn't until 1976, I believe. And you were born in 1970. So you never had dual citizenship. So how'd you become an American? Huh? Don't you think the Texas State Secretary should be looking into that? Huh? Complete joke. The good news is Donald exposed you for the lying Teddy that you really are. Aren't you, Teddy? Huh? You remember how you said, oh yeah, that $1 million from Goldman Sachs, that was just an oversight. You know, you forgot about it. Who the hell can forget about getting $1 million? Huh? You know the problem with people that lie? Eventually, they get caught because they can't keep their story straight. can they, Teddy?